Hello and welcome to SeanConnolly.info. In this video I would like to discuss some of the suppressors in the human mind, some of the lower vibrational emotions. Emotional intelligence is something that we need to study, practice and pass on to our children and even our partners. Anybody that's been suppressed in their life, suppressed potential, suppressed health, suppressed relationships, skills, it's usually down to an emotion, a feeling, a vibration, call it what you want. And on the board here, I got some of the most common emotions that would hold us back as human beings. If you imagine the white board itself is the human mind, okay? So, change is something, as human beings, we don't like change. It makes us uncomfortable, especially as adults. As children, we don't mind change. We don't really notice it, and we just get on with it. Like in school, when subjects change, friends change, skills. It's something we just take for granted. Seems to be something that annoys adults more. So when you learn to deal with change and accept it, and there are exercises for that, then life becomes a wee bit more comfortable and you accept change in your world. Fear is probably the biggest suppressor in anybody's life. There's different types of fear. Fear of failure, and even fear of success. Fear of success is massive and people don't realise that it even exists. It's something I would deal with a lot, especially in the world of competitors, not just in the business world and sales, but also in sports and performing arts. So once you learn to deal with fear, understand what it is, learn to deal with it, or to change it, replace it, then you can start to move on. You can do massive things once you learn how to control your emotional fear. Self-doubt. Doubt, again, is, I would say, 90% of the population suffers self-doubt. Self-doubt is a major cause of stress and anxiety and even depression. If you go back to the origin of stress, what is stress communicating to you? If you're feeling stressed in any situation, that's your nervous system through the emotional mind telling you, I can't deal with this. That's what stress is. I can't deal with it. I can't cope with it. So once you learn to replace self-doubt with self-belief, then stress is reduced in your life and you don't suppress your potential as much either. Anxiety. Anxiety is long-term stress which stays there. It doesn't come and go. It's there all the time and the body goes into hypertonic stage with the mind. It leads to burnout and it will lead to depression if not dealt with. Lust. Lust is just an emotion where we're craving things outside ourselves to change a feeling inside that we don't like. So we will lust after the same thing. It can be material goods, it can be clothes, it can be food, it can be alcohol, it can be prescription drugs, it doesn't matter. And it can take over your thought patterns. So learning to deal with lust, understanding it, what it is and how to replace it. Anger, something's not fair. We get angry at other people, we get angry at our circumstances and we get angry with ourselves and we tend to beat ourselves up. Anger is a very powerful emotion in the nervous system. It can be an important one, we need it, it's a natural emotion, but like anything powerful, it must be controlled. Loss, like change, part of life. You're going to have to learn to deal with loss. The grieving process, no matter on what level, has to be dealt with and you have to move on from it. It has to be transmuted because it can be damaging through long-term practice and holding on to it. Apathy, probably the lowest of all vibrations, I would say it is. Apathy is another word for depression. That feeling that nobody can help you and you can't help yourself. So apathy, again, must be understood, and you must understand how to release this. Pride. Pride is a cloak for fear. Pride is practiced by people who, they might even have achieved a lot, but then they have the doubt that they can do it again. And they're frightened of falling backwards or looking looking smaller in front of others. So they'll say that, that they're too good to do that or try it again. Yeah. So once you've learned to deal with and release these negative emotions, what you're left with is the mind of infinite possibility. Because once you've the clean board, you can replace it now with more positive emotions like courageousness, self-acceptance, inner peace, motivation, happiness, contentment, so many. So that's our lesson for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Some of the emotional release techniques are on, if you go to my shop, I have some live workshops that I've done in the past, some for post-traumatic stress disorder, some of the Tools for Life programs. Have a look through them, some of the business programs as well, where I will actually teach on the live training how to program the mind, how to release certain emotions. I will also be putting up more detailed versions and some audio, so keep an eye on the blog, and I'll see you all soon. This is Sean Connolly from SeanConnolly.info.